Shalom, it's the brother Kadash. I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, and Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders. Peace, blessings, and honors to all the brothers of the truth. Something so very simple, but we have to go through it because people don't like to do research. This is the definition of a husband. A lot of women run around saying they want husbands. No, you want something else. You can't be talking about wanting a husband. They say they want a husband, but they want to be over the husband. They don't listen. They want to do what they want to do. They don't want to submit to a man. They feel like it should be a partnership. If you want a partnership, that's called a partnership. That's not called having a husband. So we have to go down and we have to break down what a husband actually is. By the definition, I got one scripture to go with it too. This is a husband, right? It says a married man considered in a relationship to a spouse, but it goes deeper than that. You can't be so much on a surface level, man. You gotta go deeper than that. It says, and a lot of people give their opinion what a husband is, but they don't go into the definition of the word that they use. And whatever your opinion is, use a different word for it. Because if you use husband, we're going to take you off what the word husband means. It says, economically converse, to need a husband, his remaining strength. But this is the thing, the origins. See, and this is very important. People don't do research on these words, man. They don't go to the origins. So if you go back to the origins, hus means house, as you see on your screen. Bondi, but when you put it together, husband, it says occupier and tiller of the soil. And then if you go to husband, you put it together, it means master of a house. So if you want a husband, woman, you have to listen up. If you say that you want a husband, you're saying that you want a master of a household. Because what's one of the things you do? When you get married, you go out to bam, you have a honeymoon. Most people go get a house together. Y'all go buy a big house and y'all have a house together. Underneath that house, you have an order. You have a certain way that it's set up, which I'm about to read it out the scriptures in a minute. And you have a master of the house, which is the man. Remember the old saying, I wear the pants in a relationship. The man is supposed to wear the pants in a relationship. That means that he has the final say in all decision making. He puts his foot down. He's the head. Master of the house just means head of the household. I mean, even if you go down and it says husband under master of the house, it says male, head of the household. And I'm happy they put male there. Because what happens today is a lot of you women try to be the head of the household. You try to have a husband, but you want to be the head of the household. You want to make what they say, happy wife, happy life. No, that's not true, man. Happy husband, happy wife. That's how that works. If you in order, then you will benefit. I mean, you have to read Proverbs 31. Matter of fact, we're going to get that one too. Now remember this. It says husband, head of the household, master of a house. Either way you want it, right? How do you want it? Okay, so let's go to the definition of a wife. Okay, and this pops up. This is simply on Google, man. It says a married woman considered in relationship to her spouse. A wife of a person with a specific application. I'm tripping. Hold up. It says slip of the tongue. Here, take a woman to wife, marry a woman, wife. Here, let me see if I could go into more, if they could show me more of it. Woman or wife a wife of a person, a woman, especially an old or uneducated. It says a woman. Here, let me see. So it's just talking about a married woman. A wife is a woman that's married to a man. But I gotta find more definition to it because I want to get more. It says a wife is a woman in marriage. A woman who has separated from her partner continues to be a wife until marriage legally dissolves. So a wife is simply a woman in a marriage to a man. A woman that has a husband. So if you put it together, right? So if you do the whole Dr. Seuss thing, right? We know that a man, a husband, is the master of a household. A wife is a woman that has a husband. Right? So what is a wife? A woman, do the whole Dr. Seuss thing. A woman that has a master of the house. A woman that has a head of the household. That's a wife. Because technically, like, take the Native Americans, for example. They were getting married before the United States was around. So going to go get a paper that says that you're married and the state is all in your business, a third party and stuff, that's not true marriage. Because there was people getting married way before the United States was even around. So that would mean that, okay, how were the Native Americans getting married? Well, they were having sex. When you have sex with a woman, you would take her to be a wife. You guys would get under the order that I'm about to read. Here, let me go back. Oh, I'm sorry, it's Slocky. Right? So here it is. This is the definition. This is the order that you would set up. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 1. Be ye followers of me, even as I am of. I'll read it for what it is, Christ. Now I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things and keep the ordinance as I delivered them to you. So keep these ordinances, man, and remember in all things. It says, I will not have you know that the head of every man is Yahweh Shai. This is very important. So the head of every man is the Lord. And the head of the woman is the man, and the head of the Lord, is his father, our Lord Yahweh, So the same way that the Lord is the head of us, we can't backtalk against the Lord. We can't go against his commandments, his law, statutes, and commandments, his way. We can't be trying to put ourselves over him and do things our way. It's the same thing with the relationship with the woman. That's why it breaks it down like that. Look, the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is man, and the head of Christ is God. The same way he followed the orders of the Father, and we follow the orders of him, there's a chain of command. The woman's supposed to follow the orders of the man. And if the man is the head of the woman, that makes us what? The head of the household, the master of the house. Even in scripture, you have righteous women calling their husband master, or God, or Lord, for example. Because that's the order that is set up. I'm reading it verbatim right here. So it says, I'll jump down. It says, verse 8, it says, for the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. For you niggas out there teaching that God is a woman, or woman is God, you're going off, you wicked as fuck. And the first thing you like to say, look, you come from a womb. Every woman comes from a ball sack. Every woman on earth. It says, neither was the man created for woman. Why? Because we were created for the Lord. It says, but the woman for man. But the woman was created for the man. Go back to the time of Adam and Eve. Eve, for Adam. It says, for this cause ought not the woman to have power over her head, because the angels. The woman is not supposed to have power over her head. So no, you're not supposed to get the last say, make the decision making. If he might tell you to make some decision making, but you're not supposed to be over your head. The same way we're not supposed to be over our head. So women have to learn order. That's what makes us a master of the house. You're not over the master in the house. And that goes with the kids. If he say do this way with the kids, you do it that way, because that's your head. I mean, shit, Abraham was about to sacrifice Isaac. You think Sarah had a say? Fuck no. Right? But neither is man without woman, neither is woman without man in the Lord, because we do need the woman for child bearing, and they need us, in order to keep our seed going, and our bloodlines going. So we supposed to be one, but the man is the head with us being one. Now let's go to Proverbs. Let's teach the woman how to be that virtuous woman to get under that order the right way. Let's go to Proverbs 31. Here, let me see where I'm supposed to get it from. This is Proverbs 31, verse 10. Who could find a virtuous woman? Oh man, during these days, it's damn near impossible, right? For her price is for above rubies. Man, she's worth more than rubies. You're not going to find a virtuous wife these days. You're going to find a woman, and you're going to try to you're going to try to convert her to being you're going to have to try to convert her to being a virtuous woman. Same thing with us, man. We were out there in the world being wicked, and we came into the truth, and we start repenting from our sins, right, and following the Lord. You're going to have to do that with a woman, too. It says, the heart of her husband So we already know we got the definition of husband, master of the house. So the heart of her master of the house does safely trust in her. So we gotta have trust in there, man. A lot of you women is wicked. You're very deceiving. You were very deceptive. That we can't have trust with those things, man. It says so that he should have no need of spoil. She would do him good and not evil all the days of her life. You're supposed to be in order, man. You're supposed to be my peace all the days of your life. Not just when you feel like it or you having an attitude. No, you got to be in order, man. You got to check that shit in the door. It's not for me to check it for you. You got to check it yourself. And that's what a lot of women say. You make me like this. You make me do. No, this is for you. You got to bite the tongue, man. You know, but there's a benefit too, though, for those virtuous women. It's not like, because a lot of women, when you bring out stuff like this, they say, oh, she's a slave. No, she's not a slave. She's a wife. Because there's man duties that men have to do to her. We supposed to be one together. I still have to be a husband. I got to provide. I can't say, look, I don't want to provide for her. So I'm still held at a standard. When you got a slave, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do with him. This man, you still held at a standard when you're dealing with this woman. There's still things that you have to do right. You have to treat her like a wife. You know? It says, she seeketh wool, flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. You know, she ain't no lazy chick that you just got sitting up somewhere looking pretty. You know, she does her duties. She is like a merchant ship. She bringeth her food from afar. Man, you gotta know how to cook. You better take some cooking lessons, man. Especially dealing with me, yo. It says, she rises also while it's yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. You know, that's a benefit. You get with a man, especially in the kingdom, you know, when we do have that power, and we're kings and a nation of kings and priests, you know, our women are going to have maidens and stuff like that to help you. So it ain't going to be so hard as, I know it's hard today because you got to do everything yourself in the household. It says, she considereth a field and buyeth it, and with fruit of her hand she planteth a vineyard. She girdeth her loins with strength, and strengthen her arms. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night. She lieth her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. She stretches out her hand to the poor. Yes, she reaches forth her hands to the needy. You know, a very virtuous woman. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. You know, she makes sure her household is taken care of pretty much. It says she maketh herself coverings and tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates. He sitteth among the elders in the land. That's another thing. A lot of you women be out here, especially on social media, Instagram models, on Facebook and stuff like that. And we never know that you got a husband. Here you is, you're taking all these naked pictures of your butt, of your boobs, of your lips, the way that you walk with your new outfit. And you got a whole man at home that's paying for all this shit, man. And we don't even know that you got a husband. So brothers is sliding in your inbox. Let me take you on a date. This and that. And they don't even know you got a husband. You never even tell them that you got a husband. You supposed to make your husband known. This is my husband. You know, I mean, that's the thing of the world, man. Very wicked place that we live in. A lot of women do that, man. I would say majority at this point. She maketh fine linen and selleth it, and deliver girdles into the merchants, especially you women that be getting those dudes that's in the army. Oh man, I see it so many times. It's not just the Hebrew Israelite woman. The other nations are wicked as fuck too, man. Y'all be getting, man. I see the play, man. I know the game, man. We know this fucking game. What y'all do is y'all get out of high school, maybe take a couple years of college, and y'all go and seek. You know, y'all seek, man. Y'all seek and find you a husband that's going to the army. And the reason why these women, I'm dropping some jewels right now, man. Look, the reason why the women do that, right? because they could escape this what's on your screen. They don't have a master of a household, but they do have a husband financially. Why? Because he's probably overseas somewhere or somewhere on a base in the military. He's gone months and months at a time. So she's at the house. She don't have a master of the house. She could do whatever the fuck she wants to do. And he's sending all his army money. And, you know, she gets benefits like VA loans and shit like that. So she could get cars. She could get houses at a very discounted price, probably without paying taxes. And what they're doing is he's sending all his money back home. And they're living off that money. They're living and they're going out and they're living a Sex in the City type lifestyle, a city girl lifestyle. And they're going down to these bars and they're going down to these clubs and they fucking all these jakes and fucking all these niggas and shit while their husband is over in the fucking military. Over in the military somewhere, doing his military duties, and they're at home getting all his money, and fucking yeah, and they're over there in the military doing their military duties, and these women are sitting home and they're going down, they're living this Sex in the City type lifestyle, man. And guess what? You go to their profiles, you don't see none of their husbands, and if you do, it's something super, super, super far back. You would never know that this woman has a husband. Because her husband's in the army somewhere. And they do it with the truck drivers too. And what happens? These dudes come home and they find out that their wives have been going around the whole city having sex with all these guys. They already got PTSD because they're in the army. And they come home and they take out themselves and they take out the whole household. If they don't take it that far, then they fight with their wives and then they get divorced. So I know the play, man. We be seeing the play. So you got to make your husband known, man, in the gates. Now let's finish off right here because I kind of went off on the tangent. It says she maketh fine linen and selleth it and deliver girdles unto the merchants, shrink in honor or her clothing, and she shall rejoice in the time to come. So she's going to rejoice in the time to come. These women today, they're not rejoicing, man. These women today are in bad shape. What did Kevin Samuels say? Buy a dog and die alone. She opened her mouth with wisdom. See, you got to open your mouth with wisdom as a woman. This is required of you. You can't just be opening your mouth and then I'm a woman, I get emotional. And you just out here saying, because women got very slick mouths. And they could say some shit that could be completely wicked and hurt your feelings. So as a virtuous woman, you got to open your mouth with wisdom. And her tongue is the law of kindness. You got to be kind. You got to be a sweet woman, man. She looking well to her ways of her household. You got to take care of your household. That's your duty as a wife. And eateth not the bread of idleness. You can't be idle, man. You just sitting up looking pretty. You got to get out there. You got to work, man. You got to keep your household up. A lot of women can't cook and can't clean to this day for shit. They think they can, but they can't really clean or cook. Her children arise up and call her blessed. That's a blessing to have your children say, look, rise up and call their mother blessed. Her husband also, and that's even more of a blessing. For the head of the household, the master of the house, to bless you, to look up you and praise, and says, and he praises her, to praise his wife. Niggas ain't praising their wives because their wives wicked. They can't do shit. So for a man to be like, look, man, I got a good one. Man, she cook, she clean, she's sweet, she's kind, she has wisdom, knowledge, she's in order. Man. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excelleth them all. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain. A lot of women just go off their beauty, but that's vain. Because we just watching P Valley the other day, and a woman said one thing: you can't shrink forever. Why? Because you're gonna lose that beauty at some point in time, and there's always a replacement that's younger and more beautiful. So you can't go off that, man. You need to get you a husband. So even in your old ages, when you do lose those looks, you still got somebody that's there. Or like Kevin Samuels said, you're going to die alone. It says, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she should be praised. And this is what it always go back to. You're going to make your man the head of your household. You're going to submit to your man because you fear in the Lord. You're going to be a virtuous woman because you fear in the Lord. A lot of you women don't really fear in the Lord, man. So you got to always remember, look, this is how it's supposed to be because I fear in the Lord. The Lord could destroy you. It says, give her the fruit of her hand and let her own works praise her in thy gates, man. A lot of you women want things because you're so used to being put on a pedestal. You want things without having to work for it. Like we said, if Esau cut off the internet tomorrow and these women don't have dudes sending dick pictures in their inbox, they don't have a whole bunch of good morning texts every morning, they don't have a whole bunch of people checking in on them, a whole bunch of dudes, what are you doing? Let's go smoke. Let me take you out. Hey, you're beautiful. If they don't have that on a daily basis, and when the Esau does turn off this internet, a lot of women are going to commit suicide, man. Because they can't live without that praise every day. They need that every day. Imagine a man getting, having these things in their inbox just every day. A woman in their inbox. Hey, good morning. You're so handsome. Let me do this to you. Let me do that to you. And then imagine a man living with that for years and years and years of his life, and then one day losing it. He gonna be bugged out, man. So these women are gonna commit suicide when they don't have those things no more, man. And then they're gonna be out there looking for husbands. But it's gonna be too late, man. Cause what they say, all the good guys are already taken. Then that's when you got Isaiah 4:1 that's gonna come, where women gonna say, look, he already took it, but I'll still be his wife. 7 women should take hold of one man. So these times are coming very soon, man. But there are virtuous women out there. It's very hard. They're like needle in a haystack, but there are virtuous women. And for you women that's trying, you just got to remember one thing. This all goes back to the fear of the Lord. That's why you're doing it, because you fear the Lord. So with that, I'm going to say, Shalom, salvation to the elect.